Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Now let's get to some college football, where the first round of the newly formatted playoffs kicked off this weekend. And I'm not going to front. I ain't happy about it. I'm going to let y'all know that right now, all right? Take a look at the current bracket after the first round this weekend. Texas beat Clemson. Ohio State blew out Tennessee, beat them down. Penn State romped SMU, and Notre Dame handled their business against Indiana. Now, the problem I have here is the automatic bids for the conference champion. See, I got to give my man Kirk Herbstreit some props. My colleague at ESPN College Football Game Day. Plus, he called the game Ohio State that night as well when they beat down Tennessee 42-17. Kirk Herbstreit made a very, very valid point with this. One of the things that we should really appreciate about this new 12-team college football playoff format is that I'm very happy it increased from 4 teams. I have no problem with the 12 teams. Here's the issue. An automatic top 4 bid goes to a conference champion who's ranked highest amongst the conference champions. Well, what if you're a conference champion and you rank 10th? Why should you have a top 4 seed? What if you rank 8th? Why should you have a top 3 or 2 seed? That shouldn't be the case. Because what we have now is Ohio State beats down Tennessee, and now they got to go up against Oregon, who's the #1 team in the nation, in the quarterfinals. Last time we saw them against each other in Oregon, early in the season, they beat Ohio State 32-31 in the last minute of the game. Everybody was looking forward to that as a potential national championship matchup if Ohio State had handled their business. Now, listen. I've been on the record. And by the way, I had to go at my buddy, Kirk Herbstreit, all friendly. I love the guy dearly. Respect the hell out of him and Chris Fowler, do a great job calling college football games for ESPN and ABC. But I had to get at them because they misquoted me. They were talking about I wanted Ryan Day fired. That's not exactly what I said. You know what I'm saying? They pulled a conservative media joint from Fox News from the other day, okay? Because that's something they did. Here's the deal. I said that Ryan Day, the head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes, he can't get bounced out by Tennessee. He got to lose his job. You can't lose 4 straight to Michigan and then go and get beat by Tennessee in the first round and think you get to keep your job being at the Ohio State. He's 66, now 67-10 as a head coach. He has a phenomenal record. We know he could coach his butt off. Here's the reality. Jim Tressel won there. Urban Meyer won there. When Ryan Day got the job, they haven't won a national championship. They haven't won the Big Ten since 2020. And you got 4 straight losses to Michigan. When you get the Ohio State job, your job is twofold. Beat Michigan and make sure you compete for national championships. When you couple that with the fact that Ryan Day had a $20 million roster, $20 million, $20 million, okay, via NIL. And you combine that with the fact that 11 NFL caliber players, that's what they said, returned to the squad for the 2024 season. What possible excuse do you have? Not winning, not beating Michigan, not winning the Big Ten title, and not compete for a national championship. We can get anybody to coach Ohio State and do that. Now, I want to be very clear. I've heard that Ryan Day has had it rough. You got police outside his house. You got people threatening him and his family. It don't look very good. I understand there are rabid fans that don't know how to act like they have some damn sense and it's going to mess with people. I got that part, and I'm sensitive to that, all right? That's something that I got tipped off about this afternoon. I understand. So I'm going to be mindful of that. But what I'm saying is getting the job at The Ohio State comes with 2 primary responsibilities because you know they're going to have the money and you know they're going to have the roster. You got to beat Michigan at least some of the time. Can't lose them 4 straight years. And you got to compete for a national title. So that's a problem. Well, they handled their business against Tennessee. And that puts them in a position to lose to Oregon. And losing to Oregon ain't no shame. They're the #1 ranked team in the nation. So we get that part. And Ohio State is deemed a team that can beat them. So we get all of that. But in the end, SMU, Tennessee, Indiana, the way they got handled by Notre Dame, kind of ruined the first year of the playoffs to some degree. Because getting back to what Kirk Herbstreit, my colleague at ESPN and ABC, had said, he was saying, hey guys, forget who's most deserving. Take the best. So if you know that Georgia and Alabama, or Georgia's already in it, but Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina is better than these other teams, like in SMU or in Indiana, he's saying, nah, come playoff time, we got to pick the team that we know is the best. Now, that's a troubling situation for me. And here's why, y'all. Because in football, unlike basketball, you don't get to play everybody. You can only play the schedule that's in front of you. So I understand how unfair that could be. You Florida State last year, you 12-0, and you don't get picked for the college football playoffs. That's unfortunate. USMU, you 11-1 this year, and if they hadn't picked you, that would be unfortunate. But the eye test has to matter. And if we see a team that we just know, look, they ain't better, we got to pick the best teams for the college football playoffs, then that's what the hell we got to do. Because Indiana was, listen, their coach talked a lot of smack on college football game day. Top 25, we don't just beat them, we kick their ass. And then that night he went out and got his ass kicked by Notre Dame. I mean, that's a problem. We can't have, you know, the Georgias versus the TCUs for the national championship game. We can't have, a team like Georgia, who didn't make the playoffs last year, going up against Florida State, who also didn't make it, and Florida State don't send half their team to the bowl game, and they get trounced 63-3. We can't have stuff like that in the college football playoffs. We can't have teams that we look at and we can see clearly they don't necessarily belong with the creme de la creme from another conference. It's just that the other team that was a creme de la creme from the other conference didn't win their conference championship. They're playing the conference championship game, so they get punished. We got to make sure that we got the best 12 teams in the nation. Not the most desired, okay? The best. We can't be shy about this. We just can't be. I'm sorry. Kirk Herbstreit is absolutely right. You want the best teams in the nation in the damn conference. And if all of them got to come from the Big Ten and the SEC, and you got to peel one from the SEC or the Big 12 or something, so be it. You got to do something. You can't have these Rough Riders, these dogs, watching inferior teams shoot for a national title when you know those teams can't shine their damn shoes. Got to pick the best teams. Got to pick the best teams.